So now, do you notice here that the band has expanded? I'm sure you're seeing this, that the band has expanded here. Also, in this case, you would see that the band has expanded. If you see this one, right, that the band has expanded. So, expanded band means what? Expanded band only means increased volatility, because Bollinger band is measuring nothing else but volatility. It's just mapping volatility plus minus 2 on both the sides. It is mapping volatility. Now, please understand, the volatility does not have a sign. That means what? It could mean plus also. It could mean minus also. What does that mean? That means that the stock can go up also, or the stock can go down also. Now, if there is a stock that you have been watching, okay, suppose there is a stock which is in your watch list, and you have been uh, your view is long on that, so your view is already there, you think that the stock might possibly move, and then if you're seeing the band expanding, that means huge volatility has come up, and there is a high probability that this can stock can start moving, or would possibly continue to move. The other analysis part of this one is, after a long run, after decent move, so this is a decent move on the upside. If you're seeing the band contracting, especially this kind of a situation where you've seen this formation, the stock has moving up, has been moving continuously, and now if you're seeing the band contracting, this is definitely uh, a sell sign, or possibly start of a problem. Is something fishy. Sometimes you'll see after this, also the stock has continued to move, the band has expanded on the upside. But if you are making your returns, and if you're just wondering when to sell, if you're seeing the band contract, I think this should give you a cue that this is a sell side indication. That is very clear. You got to be very, very careful when you see the band contracting. That is something you should watch out for. uh, Likewise, if you see the band contracting, also if you see the, sometimes you'll see that the mouth has opened like this. The stock was already consolidating for a very while, or had corrected from top, say it had corrected from top, was sitting here for a long while, and then you see the band expanding, you're wondering where it is headed. I think that is the right entry time, because you've seen the band expanding, and this can help you in fetching some returns. It is can be used as an additional tool, but not as only tool to make a decision about it. Sometimes, if the band continues to, if the stock continues to run along the upper side of the band, you can continue to hold it. If you see it ever touching the SMA or falling beyond it, I think that is the time you should definitely exit. So this is how you can possibly use. We will look at some of the stocks that have been in our watch list, and you can decide for yourself as to what's happening. So this is, now what do you notice here on the Tanla thing? Do you notice something? And this is one stock that I have moved on a weekly time frame. If you see the stock, the bands are still pointing downwards. Possibly there is a curvature coming, possibly, but no one knows. This has continued to slide. But if I'm looking on the daily time frame, you would possibly seeing the bands have contracted after a continuous fall. The bands have contracted means volatility has fallen. And this volatility has fallen after the stock has corrected significantly. There's a very, very significant correction. This stock, if I understand correctly, was trading at 2000 levels also. Now it is at these levels around 690 odd levels. There was a contraction in the volatility. That means if the volatility is contracting after the stock has uh, corrected significantly, that means stock is possibly settling down, and the could selling pressure could reduce. That's that's a possibility. I have picked up this stock. If you see this band expanding, that means the trade is working in my favor, and I may want to hold it for a couple of days. What does not really work in this favor is a reduced volume. So let's quickly check the other stocks which are there in our this thing. So possibly the band is expanding now. There is a movement, and you might continue to see some movement on this side. Again, there is a very significant correction on the Muthoot Finance side. Uh, some bit of correction now. This has expanded. Only talks about expanded volatility. Volatility can help. You can judge how the volatility was there. This is how the volatility was there, and now look at the gap here. All of the stocks may not give you that cue. Some of this could look very tricky to you, but especially in cases where you think the stock has corrected significantly and the bands are expanding. For example, in this case, now this could be because there has been a huge correction. This could be a better bet as compared to someone which has already been on the run, and there the bands are expanding. Obviously, the risk is higher, so you would want to position accordingly. But here, if I see the band expanding, it gives me more comfort, possibly more comfort, that the stock has the volatility is increasing. There is movement happening here, and possibly I can make some money as well. But this is not the only indicator. You will look at other indicators like support and resistance, and that possibly could give you some idea. So I'm looking at all the possible stocks that we have in the list. I will go to the other green candles here. Let's see if you see notice something interesting. Possibly there is a band expansion happening. This is a stock that you'll have to watch out very carefully. I think there is some action happening here. PGR Diagnostics, someone had asked, it was in our watch list. This is how he has been tracking. And I am only today want to look at the stocks which are in action. I think out of all this, the best queue that I get here is I think this one where I see the band expanding. So I think